Won't you take me home? Give me with your flight. We can run away. Castle in the sky. Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly? We can be alone in the castle in the sky. We can run away and leave this world behind. Please just take me home to a castle in the sky. Castle in the sky. Castle in the sky. Won't you take me home?
I can wait another minute. I can wait another second to be with you for an eternity. I feel like I am in a daydream. Every moment that I spend with you, with you.
Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly? We can be alone in the castle in the sky. We can run away and leave this world behind. Please just take me home to a castle in the sky. Castle in the sky. Castle in the sky. Won't you take me home? Won't you take me home? Give me wings to fly.
I've put together all of your samples of your line drawings that you've been doing for your Where's Wally. If I haven't included it, you may not have submitted it by the time that I've done the filming, and I hope to go through and talk about all of the pieces that have been submitted. So this is the first one to get us going. Now here you've created a lovely little sense of depth by starting this trail and going larger, and as it gets further away it gets smaller. These textures in your hills are great. Keep going with those. You've started this little bit of mark making down here in the foreground. Keep filling up this space with all of that. You might think about putting some texture into this sort of a driveway. And this hills texture here, fill this entire space so your whole page is busy. So you've really started well. It's nice to see that. Another Where's Wally? So you've already had a play with your color, but you've got a lot of empty spaces in here. Please see these nice little wavy marks that you've made a little bit darker. Fill this space with them. So if you start here, you can put some lines in here and put this little bit of darker blue. You can put more lily pads and leaves in your water to fill this up. You've started to have a go at putting little mark making pieces in here, little textures for your trees. Fill this green space up with those sorts of marks and leaves and things, and that'll come along really nicely. Another one here with your Where's Wally? You've got this part here is probably your busiest section here, and that's really where it grabs my interest. What could you put on your road to make this section a little bit busier? And then what could you put on in your background in your sky? You could think about doing making it a bit thicker, or doing some extra cars if you wish, but it would be great to see this get a little bit busier. Now this piece, you've really filled up that whole page. That's very busy. And I can also see that you've created a little bit of depth here. with your houses in the foreground a bit smaller and they're getting background. So they'll be really interesting in how you color this in and how you're going to hide things. But that's great, filling up the whole page. Very impressed. Now, this is a nice start. I can see you've got a very clear base as to what you're going to do. Now, what you could do is you could actually cut this house out, put it on another piece of paper, and in the background, draw more of these houses with their roofs and their windows and their doors. Now, you can fill things up by making them wood houses, by making the wood go one way. You can put bricks in there, and that would really fill up your page. So that's a good start. Oh, 1 point perspective. This person, you rule. Very pleased to see your 1 point perspective. Now, what can we do to fill up your space? Okay, so what you could do is think about hanging paintings on the wall in here. You could think about putting bushes, etc., through the windows. I would probably make these lines here on your curtains thicker, and then that will make it come forward so it's not fighting with these lines in here. This flooring you could actually turn into wood grain, and that will fill up that space there. Your roof, you could maybe put wood on your roof as well to fill up that space as well. You could hang more baskets if you're able to do that to fill up that. So the fact that you've actually had to play with some 1 point perspective is very cool. Good on you. Now, nice little start in here. Okay, so you've definitely got some things that you can work with. So see these little stepping stones in here? You can put more of those in this sort of an area, and that will lead you to the house. I know you haven't finished yet, but you could make these lines here darker, the same as you have here, and that will make your house stand out. You can fill up this patch here with all these lovely green grass areas, and you can make them different tones. You've got a lovely little blend of brown here for your tree, and you can put in more of your clouds, and that would really fill up your space. Lovely list. Good. Oh, good job. Who are you? Oh, I can't see your name, but anyway, good job. Okay, so you've really started to make your piece busy. That's great. You could probably make your grass, let's say it's grass, busy, and that could really fill up your space, like little grass marks and a couple of different tones. Really, that's well done. The only thing other thing I could suggest for this is if you went over your fence line and made it a bit thicker, that would pop out. But you've got a whole unified piece. You lead me through the piece, which is quite interesting, and I can follow that along. So this is great. Good job. Okay, awesome. This is a lovely start. So we've got, what is it? Maybe like a circus or something? It reminds me of a circus. Now, see how you've got this really interesting sort of slide thing coming down here? You could have a couple of those to fill up that space. You could put more of your patterns in there. It'd be interesting to see how you color this in. So for example, if you made this piece here like a brighter color, like a red, and then in your background you make that a bit lighter like a blue, that would create a sense of depth as well. Oh, good job. What are you doing? You've really created some layers in these pieces. You've got this sort of dinosaur monster thing happening in the jungle. Now you can create, you can make it busier by adding more of these sorts of palm trees. If you color these trees in as sort of a dark green with your brown, and then make that a bit lighter if you wish, that'll help keep it busy. Keep going with your people, that'll fill up your space. I love these little characters if you want to fill up this space with there. Now your volcano has lava coming out, so you could really put some more lava over here to fill up that space. That's great. It's lovely. And you've got yours portrait instead of landscape. I think most people have had theirs landscape at the moment. So being original, good job. Nice. Okay, look at the texture and the pattern in those trees. What's this, like a ladder going up the tree? This is what has really caught my eye. And the reason it's caught my eye is because it's busy and it's got lots of texture and pattern. So you could really fill up your green or your grass area with all these little flowers. That's beautiful. Your background, what are you going to put in your background? You could do the cloud sun thing, that would fill it up. Oh, I've just had an idea. You can actually make trees in this sort of a space, keeping these textures, and then that will fill it up as well on the other side of the house. Now if you're going to put the trees in there, this color here, that's make that the dark color and the trees behind it a little bit lighter, and that will create a sense of depth. Oh, I think that's it. Oh, that went so quickly. I was having such a good time, year 8. Okay, well done with the wallies that you have submitted. I'm hoping this helps you with your ideas.
Won't you take me home?